All right, so today we're diving deep
Yeah.
into some pretty powerful ideas
Yeah.
from Dan Coe.
Yeah, he's got a lot of really interesting stuff out there.
We've got a whole stack of his stuff here from, his books and his online content, and we're going to try to really dissect it and pull out the most actionable advice.
I think one of the things that's most interesting about Coe is that he's so upfront about like just the rawness of life.
Yeah.
And the fact that we try to escape discomfort.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good place to start. So
Yeah, let's just jump right into that.
Okay.
This whole idea of embracing discomfort. It's kind of counterintuitive, right?
It is.
Because our natural wiring is to like seek pleasure and avoid pain. So,
well, that's where the paradox of comfort
the paradox of comfort
comes into play.
Okay.
He says that true comfort comes from being comfortable with discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about being like a masochist or something.
Right.
But it's about understanding that discomfort usually a signal that you're on the path to growth.
Yeah.
So
instead of discomfort being a stop sign, it's more like a signpost.
Yeah, like a sign that you're going in the right direction.
Yeah, like, hey, you're going the right way, keep going this way.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and he uses this analogy of like your mind is desperately wanting to move. Even when your body is forced to be still.
Right.
And that's kind of like that feeling of wanting to escape to past experiences or fantasize about the future.
Yeah.
Anything but be in the present moment.
Yeah, I get that. It's like when you're facing, a mountain of work and your mind starts like ping-ponging between, memories of last weekend's party and like daydreaming about your next vacation.
Yeah.
Anything but that spreadsheet that's like staring you in the face.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that Coe is really saying is that like true growth happens when we can resist that urge to escape and be present in the moment, even when it's uncomfortable.
Okay.
And so he has this other analogy too about bodybuilders.
Okay.
Where they go through these bulking cycles where they're intentionally like pushing their physical limits, enduring pain and fatigue to build muscle and strength. And
what does, I'm intrigued, but like, what does pushing yourself to the max in the gym have to do with like overcoming, the loneliness of like building a business from scratch?
Well, that's the thing.
Or the sting of rejection when you're putting yourself out there.
That's the thing that's so interesting about Coe is that he argues that the mental resilience and discipline you cultivate in one area of life, it bleeds into other areas.
Okay.
So it's like you build that mental muscle and then you can apply it in other places.
So it's almost like building a tolerance.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But he doesn't stop there.
Okay.
He takes it a step further and talks about the human mind as a system that's optimized for achieving goals.
Okay.
And he says that if we want to change our outcomes, we need to change the goals our minds are focused on.
So are you saying if I want to, build a business or write a book and that dream job, I need to start by like understanding how my mind works?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And one of the key players in that system is dopamine.
Oh, dopamine. Okay.
Most people think about dopamine as like the pleasure molecule.
Right.
Which it is. But Coe highlights another side of it.
Okay.
He highlights how dopamine directs our attention to information that is relevant to our goals.
So are you saying that instead of just chasing like quick bursts of pleasure, dopamine is actually helping us like filter out the noise and focus on what matters?
Exactly. Yes. Coe argues that dopamine helps us prioritize information based on the goals we set. Because it's like a spotlight that's shining brightly on anything that gets us closer to what we want.
Okay. So like if I want to break free from like a pattern of procrastination, I need to set goals that actually like matter to me.
100%.
That trigger that dopamine driven like laser focus.
Yeah, it's not about willpower or discipline. It's about aligning your goals with what your brain is naturally wired to pursue.
Got it.
But then he takes it a step further.
Okay, this is getting a little deep.
Yeah.
He's going to say, we got to change our identity or something.
He says if we want to change our outcomes, we need to change our identity. And that's because a lot of our early experiences, the way we're brought up, the cultural narratives, it all shapes our sense of self.
Yeah.
And this often creates a limited worldview.
Yeah, it's like that whole go to school.
Yeah. He calls it the school work retirement loop.
Yeah, get a job, climb the ladder, and then retire?
Exactly. Yeah. But Coe challenges us to question that. He says our minds are much more malleable than we think.
Okay.
He says we can actively mold and shape them.
Okay.
Like a sculptor with a block of marble.
So he's saying we can be like Michelangelo, but
he calls it mental bodybuilding.
Of our minds.
Yes.
Mental bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. But how do we actually start, like,
so this is where
sculpting a new identity?
The magic of reprogramming comes in.
Okay.
Coe believes we can actively challenge our limiting beliefs and expand our worldview through certain practices.
Okay.
He loves critical thinking exercises.
That's a cool thing.
Actively seeking out opposing viewpoints.
Okay, so it's about becoming comfortable.
Yes.
Being uncomfortable, even when it comes to our own beliefs.
He wants you to seek out the things that make you uncomfortable because that's where the growth happens.
It's like, it's uncomfortable to have your beliefs challenged.
Yes.
But that's where the real growth is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that leads into one of his most compelling concepts.
Okay.
Self-architecture.
Self-architecture.
Yeah.
I like that. What is that?
So it's this idea that you become both the architect and the builder of your identity.
Okay.
So you are the architect designing the life that you want to live.
Okay.
And then you're the builder.
So it's understanding we're not just passive bystanders.
Yes.
Yeah. We're not just passengers.
Exactly.
We have the agency to shape who we become.
You're not just accepting the identities that you've been given or that you've fallen into.
Right, right.
You're actively creating it.
Okay, I love that. And he's saying, just like an architect.
And just like an architect,
Considers every aspect.
considers all aspects of a building.
We should.
Coe emphasizes holistic development. You're nurturing all areas of your life.
That's so key.
Not just focusing on one at the expense of others.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in like the hustle of work and then you neglect everything else, your health, your relationships. Yeah.
He talks about bulking and cutting in this as well.
Wait, hold on. Bulking and cutting.
Yeah, so bulking and cutting is not just for fitness.
Okay.
He says you can apply it to any area of your life.
Okay, so how would you bulk and cut? And
Bulking and cutting is like
relationships, for example, or
it's like in your creative life, you could bulk for a month, right? You immerse yourself in new mediums.
Okay.
Maybe you take a pottery class, try songwriting. You do things that are completely outside of your comfort zone.
You're pushing yourself.
You're experimenting, you're expanding.
Yeah, and then cutting might be...
Cutting would be like reflecting on that.
Okay.
And identifying the things that resonate with you the most.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you refine your skills in those areas.
Okay, so you're getting very specific.
Yeah. Okay, I love that.
It's about being intentional.
It's a really nice framework.
And strategic with your growth.
Yeah.
Just like a sculptor chiseling away at the stone to reveal the masterpiece within.
Okay. And that's really what he's getting at. Is
he wants
recognizing your potential and realizing
he wants individuals to
that you have agency.
Recognize their own potential and realize that they have the agency to create the life they desire.
But there's one more piece of the puzzle, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Self-confidence.
Yes.
I mean, that's...
Coe makes a really good point that...
such an important quality.
Self-confidence is not just...
for many people...
It's not just like tips and tricks.
Yeah.
It goes way beyond that.
Yeah.
He outlines 3 pillars of self-confidence.
Okay, what are they?
The first is understanding the big picture.
Understanding the big picture. He says we need to develop a broader perspective on life and our place in it.
But doesn't that make you feel kind of detached?
Well, what he's saying is...
I feel like true confidence comes from like tackling the very specific anxieties.
No, he's not advocating for ignoring your problems. It's more about recognizing that your individual struggles and anxieties are often quite small in the grand scheme of things. And this is liberating because it can help you detach from those things.
Okay, so it's about perspective.
Yes.
Not denial.
Yes.
Okay, so understanding the big picture, pillar number 1. Yes. What's next?
Pillar number 2 is setting goals that genuinely matter to you.
Okay, so like...
if the goals are handed to you by society...
you have to feel passionate about the goal.
They're not going to have the same motivating power.
It has to be something that really lights you up.
It's like that old saying, find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
It's about aligning your actions with your values and aspirations. And that is really key.
Okay, number 2, set goals that really matter to you.
Yes.
What's number 3?
Number 3 is competence.
Competence.
Which comes through practice and skill development.
So like the more skilled and knowledgeable you become, the specific area, The more confident.
Yeah, it's that feeling of mastery that comes from knowing you can handle a situation.
Okay.
But competence alone isn't enough.
Right.
It needs to be combined with those other two pillars.
Okay, so it's not just about being good at something.
Yeah.
It's being good at something that also aligns with your overall vision.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this brings us to another really interesting thing that Coe says.
Okay, hit me.
He says a lot of people settle in relationships to avoid the discomfort of personal growth.
Whoa. Okay, what do you mean by that?
He's saying people choose partners who won't challenge them to grow and evolve.
So they opt for comfort and familiarity.
They choose comfort and familiarity.
Even if it means
sacrificing their own potential.
Sacrificing their potential, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and while that might offer temporary comfort, Coe argues it ultimately hinders personal development.
So it's like you're not seeking out partners that are going to inspire you and push you to be better.
Exactly.
You're kind of just going for the path of least resistance.
Yes.
Even if it leads to stagnation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not just talking about romantic relationships. He's also talking about friendships, business partnerships, all areas of life.
So surrounding yourself with people that inspire you and challenge you is really crucial.
Yes.
Okay.
And that leads into another really interesting part of his work, which is the value creator economy.
Okay, the value creator economy.
Yeah.
What is that?
So Coe believes that we're moving away from traditional employment and towards a world where individuals can leverage their skills and knowledge to build online businesses.
So instead of like chasing after clients or customers?
Well, he says the key is to focus on creating and sharing valuable content and building an audience.
So the focus is on building an audience.
Is more valuable than chasing clients.
Okay.
Because building an audience creates a platform for sustainable growth and impact.
Got it.
You're not just trading time for money anymore.
Okay.
You're building an asset.
Makes sense.
That can generate value over time.
Okay, but how does one go about building an audience in this value creator economy?
So this is where his
what are the steps?
Framework for creating a micro offer comes in.
Micro offer.
Yeah.
I like it. What is that?
So a micro offer is essentially a way for you to leverage your existing knowledge and experience.
So you don't have to be like a world-renowned expert.
You don't need to be a world-renowned expert.
Okay.
Coe argues that most people already possess valuable knowledge and skills that they can package into a micro offer.
So like walk me through like how to create a micro offer.
Okay.
What are the steps?
So step one is you identify a problem that your target audience is facing.
Got it.
And then you design a unique process for solving that problem.
Yeah. So it's not just generic advice.
Not just like
it's like here's my system, here's how I did it.
It's about distilling your experience into a system, a clear system that people can follow.
Okay, and then you package that process.
You package it into a valuable offer.
Yeah, that could be an ebook or a...
Yeah, it could be a short ebook.
A mini course.
Or a mini course.
A coaching program.
A coaching package.
Yeah, okay.
But here's something really interesting that he says.
What's that?
He says that a lot of successful coaches and consultants simply break down the information from their books and courses into personalized sessions.
So they're like repackaging the existing knowledge.
Repackaging existing knowledge to provide tailored support.
That's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
With this deep dive.
It's a reminder that you don't need to reinvent the wheel to create a valuable offer.
But Coe also says that there are two more crucial...
He says that there's two more crucial elements, obsession and experimentation.
Obsession.
Yeah.
Sounds intense.
Yeah, but obsession in this context is a good thing.
So you're talking about like identifying something that...
It's about diving deep.
Truly lights you up.
Into the areas that fascinate you.
And going all in on it.
That unlock your potential.
Okay.
So what lights you up?
Right.
What are you passionate about?
Okay.
Pursue that relentlessly.
Not just dabbling.
Yeah, not just dabbling.
Like becoming a student.
Become a student of your craft.
Okay, and then the other one...
And paired with obsession.
It's experimentation.
It's experimentation.
Yeah.
This is so important.
So it's about not being afraid to try new things and step outside your comfort zone and seeing what works.
Yeah, that's your comfort zone.
And see what works.
Not being afraid of failure, but seeing it as data.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Coe believes...
Give me like a specific example of how
In constantly testing and iterating.
Ko embraced experimentation.
And trying new things and
his own journey.
Learning from those mistakes.
Yeah.
He gives an example of how he experimented with different fitness programs.
Okay.
He didn't just follow one guru blindly.
Right.
He took what worked from each approach.
Okay.
Discarded what didn't.
Yeah.
And created his own system. Okay, that's great.
That worked for him.
So it's about not just consuming information. It's about applying it, testing it, and then making it your own.
Yeah, it's about applying it, testing it, refining it, and making it your own. So
this has been a really insightful dive.
Yeah.
I feel like we've gone from this seemingly simple idea of embracing discomfort to like understanding the power of dopamine and building genuine self-confidence.
Sure.
And even like dipping our toes into the world of like the value creator economy.
Totally.
There's so much to unpack here.
There is.
My mind is like already buzzing with ideas.
I know, right?
I feel like we've laid a really solid foundation here.
Yeah.
But for you listening, stick with us because we're going to take this even deeper in part 2.
Absolutely.
Where we're going to explore how to actually like reprogram your mind for success.
Yeah.
Tap into that power of focus.
Yeah.
And really navigate the world of like online business building.
For sure.
So get ready to level up.
Level up. Welcome back.
All right. So we're jumping back in.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, we've talked a lot about rewiring our brains, embracing discomfort.
Yeah.
Cultivating that laser-like focus. But I want to know, like, how do we actually apply all of this to like building a successful online business?
So Ko actually talks about this in detail.
Okay.
He says one of the biggest challenges is actually capturing attention.
Yeah. So
in a world that's saturated with content.
Everyone's vying for our attention.
How do you make your message stand out?
It's like being in a crowded stadium.
Yeah.
And everyone's like shouting their message.
It is.
So how do you break through that noise?
So Ko has some really interesting strategies for maximizing the impact of your content.
Okay.
And one of his key principles is creating what he calls a content ecosystem.
Content ecosystem.
Okay. Yeah. He says you should think of your content as a journey that guides your audience deeper into your world.
Got it.
And he says you should leverage both short form and long form content.
Okay. So break that down for me.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Short form content is things like Twitter threads, Instagram captions, short videos.
So it's like the bite-sized stuff that people can consume.
Yeah. It's your hook. It's your way to grab attention quickly and spark curiosity.
Give me an example.
Yeah. So it's like, think of it like a teaser trailer for a movie.
Right.
You want to pique people's interest and make them want to see more.
Okay. So what's the bridge to
And that's where the long form content comes in.
Okay.
So that's things like newsletters, blog posts, podcasts.
Full length.
There's even online courses.
Okay.
This is where you provide.
Okay. So it's like short form is like the quick hit, the spark, and then long form is where you really
it's the deep dive.
go into depth.
It's the comprehensive framework.
Got it.
It's the deep analysis.
Okay.
And Ko actually gives an example of how this works in his own business.
Okay.
He'll often outline his ideas for a longer post in a Twitter thread.
Okay. Interesting.
This forces him to condense his thoughts.
So he's creating kind of like a sneak peek into the...
Yeah, he's giving people a taste of what's to come.
Okay.
And if they find the thread valuable, they're more likely to dive into the longer post.
Okay, so he's really strategically using both.
Yeah.
Okay. But how do you actually hold people's attention? Because, you know, I think a lot of people struggle with that.
It's a challenge.
Myself included.
But Ko says that the longer you can hold someone's attention, the more valuable your brand becomes.
Okay.
So you're signaling to people, hey, I have something valuable to share. You're worth listening to.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Yeah, how do you actually do that, though?
It's a challenge.
Especially in a world where, like, people's attention spans are, like...
So Ko emphasizes the importance of storytelling.
Storytelling, okay.
He says that the best content, whether it's a tweet or a book, is rooted in compelling narratives.
So it's not just about like information dumps.
It's not just about info dumps. You have to weave those insights into stories that people can connect with and remember.
Okay, and how do you actually do that?
So he says, think about the classic elements of a good story.
Okay.
You need relatable characters, a sense of suspense, and a satisfying resolution. Right. I want people to feel something.
So it's about making your content
Yeah.
more than just information.
Yeah. You're creating an experience.
You're creating an experience.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. And Co's saying that when you can master the art of storytelling.
When you can master the art of storytelling,
yeah,
you create content that people can't resist.
Right, and they want to share it.
They share it. They talk about it.
Okay, so it's really about remembering we're not just... You're not just information
dispenser.
We're storytellers.
You're a storyteller.
Yeah.
And Co says that when you combine these strategies, you create content that captures attention, you build a loyal audience.
And they trust you.
And that trust is essential.
Yeah, trust is like...
for building any business.
Foundation of any business.
Or brand.
Right.
Co believes that trust is the currency of the value creator economy.
Okay, I love that.
It allows you to connect.
Trust is the currency.
With your audience on a deeper level.
Of the value creator economy.
To build relationships.
Yeah.
And to make a meaningful impact.
This is great. Okay, so we're back, and my mind is buzzing.
Mine too.
There's just so much to unpack here.
There is.
But I want to, like, really get practical.
Yeah.
You know, like we've talked about rewiring our brains and like embracing discomfort.
Yeah.
How does this all like actually...
Yeah. How do we apply
building a successful online business?
Yeah. So Co actually talks about this in detail. And he believes that one of the biggest challenges for anyone building an online presence is capturing and holding attention.
Right. Because there's just so much
content out there.
It's overflowing with content.
How do you even make your message stand out?
That's a good question.
It's like, how do you stand out in a crowded stadium?
Yeah, it's like trying to be heard.
Yeah, everyone's shouting
their own message.
Yeah, everyone's vying for attention.
Yeah.
So how do you break through the noise?
How do you break through the noise?
Co has some interesting strategies for maximizing the impact of your content.
Okay.
One of his key principles is to create what he calls a content ecosystem.
Content ecosystem.
That strategically leverages both short-form and long-form content.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Break that down for me.
Okay, so...
what does he mean by content ecosystem?
He says you should think of your content as a journey.
Okay.
Guiding your audience deeper into your world of expertise.
Got it.
You start with short-form content.
Okay.
Things like Twitter threads, Instagram captions, short videos, even...
so that's like your hook.
Yeah. This is your hook.
That's how you get people's attention.
To grab attention quickly and spark curiosity.
Spark curiosity.
Think of it like a teaser trailer for a movie.
Right.
You want to pique people's interest and make them want to see more.
Okay, and then what's the bridge?
And then that's where the long-form content comes in.
Okay.
Things like newsletters, blog posts, podcasts.
Right, even like online courses and stuff.
Full-fledged online courses.
Yeah.
This is where you deliver the deep insights.
So it's like short form is the quick hit.
Yeah, the comprehensive frameworks.
Spark the curiosity.
The deep analysis.
And then long form is where you really deliver the value.
And Co actually gives a really good example of how this works in his own business.
Okay.
He'll often outline his ideas for a longer post in a Twitter thread.
Interesting.
And this forces him to condense his thoughts and present the most valuable insights up front.
So he's giving people like a sneak peek.
He's giving people a taste of what's to come. And if they find that valuable, they're much more likely
to actually go and consume that content.
Yeah, longer post.
Yeah. Okay, so he's strategically using both.
Exactly.
Okay, but I think a lot of people struggle with actually like holding people's attention.
So Co says that the longer you can hold someone's attention, the more valuable your brand becomes.
Okay.
You're signaling to people, hey, I have something valuable to share.
I'm worth listening to.
You're worth listening to.
Yeah.
But you're right.
But how do you actually do that?
It's a challenge.
Like, especially in a world...
in a world where everyone's attention span...
where attention spans are shrinking. So Co emphasizes the importance of storytelling.
Storytelling.
He says that the best content, whether it's a tweet or a book, is rooted in compelling narratives.
So it's not just about...
it's not just about...
information dumps?
Information dumps.
Yeah.
You have to weave those insights...
into stories that people can connect with and remember.
Okay, but how do you actually do that?
He says, think about the classic elements of a story.
Okay.
Relatable characters.
Yeah.
A sense of suspense.
Yeah.
A satisfying resolution.
Yeah.
You want people to feel something.
So you want to make your content more than just information.
You're creating an experience.
You're creating an experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Ko says that when you master...
And Ko saying when you can master...
the art of storytelling.
That art of storytelling.
You create content.
You create content that people...
that people can't resist.
They can't resist.
They share it. They talk about it.
They want to share it.
It makes a lasting impact.
So it's really about remembering.
Yeah.
That we're not just...
You're not...
the information dispensers.
An information dispenser.
We're storytellers.
You're a storyteller.
Yeah. Okay.
And Ko says that when you combine these strategies...
You build a loyal audience.
A loyal audience that trusts you.
Yeah.
And values your insights.
And that trust is so essential for...
And trust is the foundation.
Yeah, for any business.
Everything.
It's the foundation.
Stroke believes trust is the currency.
Trust is the currency.
The value creator economy.
The value creator economy.
It allows you to connect with your audience on a deeper level.
This is great.
Build relationships.
So we've gone from this idea of...
and ultimately to make a meaningful impact.
Embracing discomfort to the power of dopamine.
Yeah.
Rewiring our minds for success.
Absolutely.
Even mastering the art of storytelling to capturing attention.
It's been...
I feel so inspired to put all of this into practice.
Me too.
I don't know about you.
Yeah. And for everyone listening, remember that true wealth isn't just about money or possessions.
Yeah.
It's about having the freedom
Right.
to design a life that aligns with your values.
That's such a good point.
Express your unique gifts and make a positive impact on the world.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
It has.
I'm so glad we did this.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for joining us. And until next time.
Until next time.
Keep diving deep.